what made you feel like start becoming more comfortable in talking about your mental and how you're feeling to the world behind the camera?
Yeah. So like back in 2017 to 18, I had started my first year of college. I was at a community college. I didn't originally I was going in for computer science because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So it was like a tough like 2 years where I was just like not knowing what I was doing. I was very upset with myself and upset with school. And I was in a very like negative place where I used to be like in a very positive place. And the little transition from having that positivity to go into a very negative place was kind of scary. And I kind of fell into like a slight like deep depression where I was just like no motivation for nothing, didn't want to do nothing, didn't want to go to school, get out of bed. And I felt very like I want to say self-pity, but I was like a very deep hole that I didn't like to be in. So I actually kind of went back, saw some of my other stuff and was like, yeah, you was talking all this, motivation that, you're not even taking your own advice no more.
Yeah.
So that kind of like propelled me even more to like, all right, you really gotta like get on it for real. And that was like a perfect time because like after that first like 2 years, I ended up kind of figuring out that I can go to school and still do my video stuff. That was the good thing. If you are trying to go to school, school's a scam. I'm gonna say that school's a finesse. But if you are gonna go to school, make sure you're going to school for what you actually want to do, not because like someone else told you you'd be good at it or you're good at it, because you won't enjoy it. Once you figure out what you're actually doing in school, it's way more fun. So once I was able to figure that out and then get back on my video grind and kind of like get the motivation to get back to doing stuff again, that's where I kind of like found that. I don't know if I answered your question or not though.
You did. So you talked about you found a little bit of depression. Walk me through that. Like, what made you first identify that's the feeling that you were feeling, and then like did you go seek help? Did you talk about it with somebody else? What did you do to really process that? I know you said you looked at your old videos and you said like you weren't walking in that in your life, but what else happened to kind of work your way through that?
Yeah, because like it was just like a kind of like a domino effect of stuff. Like I wasn't getting up for school, I wasn't eating right, like I wasn't going to the gym, and it was like just like it's funny how things work because it was like one thing caused another, but like if you don't stop the one thing, it's gonna bring up another. You know what I'm saying? Like I stopped going to the gym, so I wasn't eating as much. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't eating as much. I wasn't sleeping as well. Had no motivation to go to school. You know, it was kind of like a domino effect of things like that. So like it just got to a point where like I couldn't like go to sleep certain nights. Like I'd just be up and like my mind's always racing and I'm always thinking about stuff. And I was like just thinking too much. And I'd just be like up and just upset, either like angry or like crying because I didn't know like why I was upset or like why I felt the way I did. And then I kind of like asked my sister, my family, stuff like that, just like, yo, like this is how I've been feeling, like what do you think it is? And then kind of asked some of my teachers and my counselors and stuff too. People are really afraid to go talk to your counselors and like other resources, but like don't be afraid to use your resources because they're there for a reason. So I talked to some of my counselors and stuff, and they're like, oh, they could be this, that, and the third. And then I ended up finally talking to my mom because she hadn't like I think she peeped I was off, but she didn't really know what was going on. So then we actually sat down. She's an African parent, so like African parents are immediately, oh, let's pray, this, that, and the third. But me and her actually like a solid. We did pray. I'm not gonna lie, we did pray, before and after. But we had like a solid conversation of just like what was going on, what was making me feel the way I did, and then actually like vocalizing and speaking of like what was hurting me and what was making me feel the way I did made me like kind of make a checklist. Okay, this, that, and the third is making you feel some type of way, but you're not doing this, that, and the third that makes you feel like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then that was able for me to be like, okay, you're upset because you're not doing well in school, but you're not trying. You know what I'm saying? You're upset because your body doesn't look the way you want it to, but you're not eating right. You're not going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like we're upset about the results we get, but we're not putting in the effort. So that's where I kind of had to like flip around and like, okay, if you want to do the things you say or the things you're telling people, you got to actually like put the work in. So my big brother Sam was actually a big contributor to that because he ended up around that time, he started forcing me to go to the gym, waking me up at like 4 or 5 a.m. Hey, we up, call, blow my phone up, get up, we're going to the gym. make sure I'm up eating right. Like he helped me a lot through that time. He's right here. I don't think he even knows it, but I was in a very deep hole, and he got me out of there. So having somebody in your corner who can kick you in the butt and keep it a buck with you really helped me. And it's someone you can relate to. Like, I know people like to always press, oh, go talk to somebody, which is true, but go talk to somebody you actually like trust and you feel like you can actually talk to. Because like, you can talk to somebody and tell them how you're feeling, but they might not give you the correct, you know what I'm saying, or like their point of view on it. But then when you talk to somebody that you know, like, okay, has your best interest at heart, they're gonna look out for you for real.